Well, hello, wealthy women. I am very excited to be here with you today. I have a really great success story with Kerstin Decook. Now, her history is amazing in how she has found her passion business. It zigged and it sagged a little, like is the case with most of us, but she is living her purpose and she is here to help and inspire others to do the same in a couple different ways. So, without me sharing too much about her story, I'm going to pass the camera over right now and let her introduce herself and tell you all about who she is and why she is just so excited to connect with you and how she can help you as well. So go ahead and take it away.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me, Tamara. I'm super excited to be here and share my passion. So I actually have, believe it or not, two passions. Well, my overall passion in life is to help others to overcome challenges so that they can, live a life, thrive and be happy and fulfilled. And because, life is so precious, we only get to live once. So for that reason, I mean, I want to myself live my best life possible, be the best version of myself. And I want to help others to do the same. And I, in my life, have, my life has been kind of a roller coaster, if you will, ups and downs, and probably many of us have the same, right? And so many people have always asked when I share my stories, say, "Well, Christine, you should share your stories in a bigger way." Like, so to wrap it up, I'd like to not wrap it up, but to kind of short it all. So I wrote a book. It's called Break Loose and Fly, and the reason, and that's actually my business too. It's called Break Loose and Fly, and it's all about overcoming challenges so that you can rise to the top and live an amazing life. And so what I've done with this book is I looked at my life and all the different challenges that I experienced over the years, and there's some big ones there. I mean, like, unfortunately, divorces and their business failures. I immigrated into a country when I was younger, 27 years old at the time. I couldn't even speak the language, but it was something that I wanted to do, something that excited me at the time. So I just went for it. So in this book and in my business, I help people to find what they're truly passionate about, what they really truly want in their life. And sometimes it's not easy to figure that out. Sometimes we don't know. We just feel that we want something more than what we have at the time. So for me, it's very exciting to help others to find out what it is that they really truly want in their life, and then find out ways how we can get there. And it's not a straight path. Many times it's like, finding like baby steps. But the biggest thing is, and it was always for me, is like, what is your overall target? Where do you really want to go? What would make you truly happy and what would fulfill your life? And that could be, relationships, that could be in your business, that could be financial, that could be where do you want to live? There's so many different areas in life that we can think as to where do we want to go there. And so for me, it's super exciting in my life to always reevaluate that, and then for others to help others to do the same. So that is one of my passions. And my business, Break Loose and Fly, that's actually where you can find me, breaklooseandfly.com. And then my other passion, actually, it hasn't been a passion for all my life, but it was born out of a change that my husband and I did several years ago. When he came home one day, he used to be, well, he's still a captain, and he always wanted to have his own charter business, buy a boat, and then do charter business in the Pacific Northwest, offering people adventure charters. And so while I always thought it was very interesting, I never really thought that would maybe come together. Anyways, one day he came home and said, "Well, it's time for us to do this. Are you in?" And I said, "Sure, I'm in. But if we offer people adventure charters, overnight adventure charters, well, who we're gonna serve them amazing meals, right? We gotta give them a culinary experience as well. And I said, well, who's gonna do that? And he says, well, look at the mirror. You're gonna do this. And I was like, well, I consider myself an average cook, but I'm definitely not chef de cuisine material. Um, but then I thought, well, why can't I be? I'm not at the moment, but it doesn't mean I can't.
I
And
love
so
it.
I started studying culinary art in not just here in America, but also in Europe. And let me tell you, my friends, it has been a transformative journey through learning the techniques, the methods. Cooking has turned from being a chore, something that we all do because we have to eat, right? Unless we go out all the time. Cooking has turned from being a chore to something I truly enjoy. And it has changed my way in the kitchen. I dance in my kitchen. I cook. I love cooking and I love serving meals to family and friends. First of all, it's not just an accomplishment, it's also a way, you know, how to basically have meals, flavorful, nutritious meals around the dinner table and create these like cherished moments that we can have with family. And when you really think about it, it has come less and less and less that families come together and actually eat around the dinner table. People go out, people eat prepared meals. So it has become my passion to ignite the fire of like ignite cooking back into people's hearts, like find love for cooking again. So my side business kind of, or my second business over the last few years is Rock the Kitchen. And by that I mean, like, I'm rocking my kitchen and I have so much fun doing it. I want to share my passion and my knowledge and my experiences with others so they too can come back, have fun in the kitchen, cook for family and friends. Actually, see that you can actually, it's not super complicated once you understand the methods and the techniques. It's not so much about following recipes, right? It's understanding what's behind it. And once you understand the methods and techniques, it is amazing what you can do. You can just open your fridge and freezer and just brew something together, decorate it nice on the plate, and serve it. And everybody is oohing and ahhing. And just like Julia Child,
Mhm.
she had the passion for bringing the French cooking to the American people. And she was obviously very successful. Now, but her French cooking is it's cumbersome, right? It's like when you look at some of her recipes, they take up 2 to 3 pages. Now, I love her, but my mission for Rock the Kitchen is to simplify the process for the busy American, for the busy mom, for the busy entrepreneur, for the busy chauffeur, anybody who is busy. I mean, we're all busy, right? So how can we still bring cooking back at home, enjoy it, have fun? It has to be simple, it has to be easy, right? And that is my mission for Rock the Kitchen, to make it easy, make it fun, bring, for you to develop confidence, creativity, and flavor building skills in the kitchen. So if that's something that you're interested in and you want to rock the kitchen with me, you can find me at rockthekitchen.net. It's not .com, it's .net.
Well, I love everything that you just said. And it's so true what you're saying. Like, we change as we go along in life, and you're a coach. Like, you can help people figure out their desires, how they can make the best life for themselves in that moment they're in, and give them a foundational skill sets to help them live their best life. And then knowing, as we go through time and events and experiences, sometimes we zigzag and we find new things that maybe light us up. And it's like the coaching that you give these women in advance will help them transition even down the line, because they can either reach out to you again for help, or if they already had, they will take those skills that you taught them to be able to adapt. And you are a living example of this because you are basically walking the talk, because you allowed yourself to be open to receive an entirely different focus with your business as an addition to what you're doing, and fell in love with it, and realized you went from a place of not necessarily enjoying it so much to finding pure bliss with it, and realizing that if that can help happen for you, that you want to let others know that it can also happen for them. And so you're going to help them find that skill set about cooking and sharing and the relationships that come together around the table. And all of your classes are on many of your classes are online, so you can reach a global audience this way. So this is, for everybody. So I just love, I love that you are determined to allow the change and make the most out of it, and find the way that the change happens in your life, whatever that may be, to be a beautiful, exciting thing instead of a stressful thing or a confusing thing, or, because some people have a little bit of trouble adapting to change, and that's understandable. But I love that your attitude is always about finding that silver lining and the joy in the change and going with it and making the most out of it. And what you said before, at first you were like, well, I don't cook. So, and then you're like, well, I can. I just have to try and get training. And so this attitude that you have of making the most of the situation is beautiful, because that is true success. Like going with that flow instead of against it, and finding a way to make it a beautiful experience, and then being able to share that gift with others is fantastic. So I think it's just amazing what you're doing and how you're helping others to transform in a positive direction with their life, their life choices, but also the ability to adapt and make the most of new things that come up, because that is life, right? It does zigzag sometimes. So I love this. So thank you for sharing this, and thank you for sharing about the businesses, both of them, because they're both so beneficial that they will definitely help others to get to those places, whether it's from the coaching side where they're needing some help to get clear, to if they have that passion for cooking. It's wonderful that on both parts you can help them with that. So I love it. So I'm going to actually get into some success questions now, and we'll get a little bit deeper about, you know, your passion for business, how it's been empowering to you. And mostly we want to have these questions be an inspiration to others, to let them know that on their journey to creating their own bigger business, joy business, that they share commonalities with all, and that they can get inspiration. So I think my first question I always like to ask is, if you can let me know, what is the one thing about owning your own business that has been the most empowering to you as a woman, and why would you recommend it to other women to go ahead and create their own business for themselves?
Having your own business truly sets you free from the constraints of having to go to a 9 to 5 job, basically whatever it is, 9 to 5, any hours of the day, and basically just grinding it out day by day. Having your own business, first you can just truly follow your heart and really do what you love doing. And whether that is coaching, whether it's cooking, whether it's whatever, maybe you're an artist or you are anything that you do want to be, following your heart and truly, you know, going that route of trying, of literally going out of your comfort zone, because it is obviously, it is a little bit, you have to leave your comfort zone. Having a 9 to 5 job gives you the security of the daily income, right? However, so many of us have crossed this line, And it
Yeah.
is not easy, but it's totally possible. And especially with the support of other women who have done this before. And it just sets you free, and you are free to do what you want to do. I mean, if you don't want to start your business at 9, but at 11, you want to take a day off, you want to spend the day with your family, or you want to work 10 hours a day, you can do whatever you want. It's just freeing and it's exciting. And I can only encourage any woman to really um, find what you're truly passionate about, and jump over that hurdle with the
Mm.
help of a community of other like-minded women, and yeah, just go for it and you will not regret it. And yeah, it's not going to be easy, but it's totally possible.
I love this. And I love what you just said to, find what your passion is. For someone that is a little confused, because maybe someone is multi-passionate, or they just don't know, they can't get a sense of what is that joy. They're not feeling it. Do you have any advice for them? Maybe a quick win, a couple simple things that they might be able to do to get reconnected with their self in such a way that they can figure it out, where they, that's it. That's what I want. That's what I'm missing. Do you have any idea that they can start with?
I find it always to process something. I find it's a good way to write things down. Write
Yeah.
things down that you what gets you excited, right? What gets your juices flowing? And I mean, it can be anything. For example, again, cooking, or going for a walk, or talking to people. What is it that you enjoy? And maybe then make a list of all the things that get you excited. And
Yeah.
then look over that list and see, well, if I had to just pick one out of 5 or 10, or even just 3 things, which of those things gets me most excited?
Yeah. Mhm.
And that can be just a starting point, right? It's always obviously helpful to have someone else to talk about it and talk it through with you.
Yeah.
But that's a good starting point, just to write things down.
Yeah, and I love this. And we both know that we share such a common interest with food. We're both trained chefs, and we found a way to sort of work it into our coaching businesses, right? Like, and that is important because even like for myself, I have a background in digital marketing and promotion, and all the things. And now I'm a women's empowerment coach focusing on money mindset. However, I am now writing this book and sharing these beautiful success stories. But I always had the interest in travel because I've traveled, like, it feels like everywhere, and food, cooking, dining out has always been such a big deal to me. And I remember when I was first, formating, okay, how am I going to create my coaching business? And okay, it's all about money mindset at the time. This is prior to the book. But I thought, well, that's fantastic, but where is my cooking and dining showing up? Because that's such a part of me, right? And I thought, well, I actually have a collaboration with a travel company that also has dining certificates, and I thought, well, why not add that into my programs where they're like, I give this to my clients as bonuses or whatever. And it made me so happy because it was connecting something that I'm so passionate about. And some might say, well, what, in a way, well, what does that have to do with your money mindset coaching? Well, I think it has a lot to do. Like for me, for example, traveling is one of the biggest confidence boosters I've ever experienced by traveling. And I know when you build your confidence in any way, it's going to directly impact your business, right? And or you want to make your own business your passion. So if, like yourself, you're passionate about food, find a way to bring that into your business. And I love this because you are doing it. That's another reason why I'm so excited to work with you, because you are truly living your passions and bringing your two worlds together. And I think this is a great advice for all women out there. Don't think if you're multi-passionate, find a way to bring those couple things in. Maybe it can't be everything, but it will take your business to a much more thrilling, authentic place if you are bringing in more than just the one. Maybe it is just the one thing that you're totally passionate about, but if you do have a couple passions, find a way to weave them in. You have done it. I've done it. I've seen other people do it. So it's possible. And I think that is really also helps women to feel free to allow themselves to create that business, because that business is theirs and they own it and they can design it as they wish, right? So wouldn't you agree? Like,
Totally. And the thing is just to step out and start. And
uh-huh,
it can go in different directions, but the
yeah,
thing is to make a decision and just go for it and then
yeah,
go step by step, because what I found is when you once you make the decision,
yeah,
the information will come. It will come to you. But if you're um indecisive, if you're just struggling, I don't know which way to
yeah,
go, you're going to keep on struggling. So for me, I mean, with many things in my life, I mean, I've been obviously, I started as a social educator, then I did real estate for a long time, and out of the real estate came the coaching, because I started coaching agents on our team. And so things evolve as you do. And
mhm,
I just found, and even with the cooking, I made the decision to wanting to improve my game because I wanted to serve the people on our boat with good food. And my husband said, "Well, you can just make spaghetti and meatball balls, right?" And I'm thinking, are you serious? How can we get 5-star reviews
mhm,
by doing this, right? So I made the decision for myself because I wanted to serve others in the best way possible.
yeah,
And what I did not that time realize what a transformation this actually going on this journey has just had in store for me. And now, having gone through this, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is just so much fun now. And this new business birthed out of me just making a choice to widen my horizon
yes,
and you widen my knowledge so that I can serve others. And Rock the Kitchen was born just from that, and that's amazing. And who knows what's in store down the line? I don't know, maybe something
yeah.
else. But
Yeah, and that's what I love too, is allowing for something to evolve. I think sometimes we get it in our head that things have to be a specific way and we micromanage them. And maybe there's a time and a place for that. But one of the best things about owning your business is allowing yourself as a human to evolve. You learn more about yourself, you discover new things, and you can always implement them as you go forth in your journey. So it's a combination of really knowing who you already are and trying to create your business with that in mind, but at the same time allowing yourself to evolve and adjust as you go, maybe add in more or take away some more and just fine tune. And it's sort of like Michelangelo's um statues and so forth. You start with clay and you just chip away until you have the Davida. So, I mean, it's just kind of amazing. Our businesses are the same, the evolution. So, I love this. But I also think that there are some tried and true things. And I always like to ask uh, my clients, what are some absolute empowering routines that you like to do every single day that keeps you in a mindset of positivity and power, basically?
yes, for me, the first thing in the morning, gratitude. Gratitude for the things I have in my life. And that goes beyond just material things, my health, my family, my friends, where I'm able to live right now, all the things. I think gratitude just opens your heart, and it just brings a big smile into your face. So starting the day with gratitude is huge for me. And then literally very first thing I do is, because we can get, especially when we're self-employed, doing our own business, we can get sometimes super business. And I'm known to like work long hours, like a horse, like like a plow horse on the field. But what I've started many many years ago is, first thing, I take care of myself, and what I do is I go on my daily walk. And I'm not just going on a walk. I walk very fast, but I also take the time because I love to educate myself as much as possible. I love to widen my horizon, my knowledge. So, but I don't have time to read books.
Yeah,
However, I have time on my walks to listen to audiobooks.
love it.
And every one of my audiobooks is some personal development book. It's not, I'm not listening to novels or science fiction or any of this. I think for me, it's time wasted because I always try to like really make the best out of every minute I have in the day. So I get like catch two flies with one swap, or how they say it in in
Yes,
English.
yes, exactly.
So I go on my walk and I listen to audiobooks and of personal development, self-improvement, and that just like gets me going. And then when I come back, I have my cup of coffee, I go on my computer and I start the day with woo. And that is
Yes,
something that is has worked very well for me. And I know because when I do it first thing in the morning, nothing gets in my way.
yeah. Hmm.
Sometimes, if there is the occasion when something comes up, and then I tell myself, oh, I do it later. Well, later never happens. So that's why it is very important when you're in your own business to take time for yourself, or you're going to burn out. So, and whatever it is, maybe, see, my husband, for example, he doesn't like walking, but he likes to have his cup of coffee and read in the morning. So that is his thing. So we all have our thing, right? That
That's
works
right.
for us. And that is super important. And then I also try to do, I love Pilates and I love yoga, but these are things I try to do the best I can and integrate
Right,
them in my week.
right,
So that
right.
is one advice, is find something that is just your time.
I
And
love this. Yeah. It's perfect. And I am like yourself. I am all about gratitude. This is for me so foundational. And then the walks as well. To me, it's like walking meditation. And I tend to walk a little bit slower. Maybe I should probably speed it up because that would be better for the calorie burn. But
good
for me,
exercise.
yeah, exactly. Right. I tend to walk and just like listen to birds and watch, look at the trees. And I tend to do a lot of thinking, and every once in a while sit down on the bench, and most of it is focused on business things. And it is so beautiful to have those moments. Something about the fresh air, it just adds to it. You feel so rewarded when you come back, like you said. And morning is absolutely the best because then you're starting your day proud of yourself also. And this just gives you an energy boost of superpower, that you can go forward with. So I love
Yeah,
that
it's
idea.
it's like fueling your gas
Yeah.
tank,
Yes.
right? And then having gas to go for a long run.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I know a lot of women when they're starting their business, they get a little confused in the beginning how they should market their business. And I get that. There's so many different avenues, but we all know that we can get into overwhelm and a deer in headlights type of situation because of all the choices. So if you had to recommend in the very beginning, maybe even before someone wants to do anything with any kind of payment, what would paid advertising or so forth, what would you recommend to them to market their business in the very beginning?
In the very beginning, I just say share it with all the people that are already in your circle, in your
Hmm.
friend circle, share it with your sphere. And for me, it's like, oh, well, go big or go home. But that's not always the right way to do it. I mean, that's my way. But
Right.
I think just because that can be overwhelming too, right? So, but share it with the people in your sphere, because word of mouth is more powerful than you may think. So
Mhm.
you share what you are doing with a friend, and the biggest thing is to be really clear as to who are you serving with what. Because here's the thing, that's what I learned over time. When you can articulate who are you serving with what, and it passes the face test, means like, Tamara, you are telling me what are you doing, and I can put a face to it. Yes, I know this woman. She could use your help.
Yeah.
So, and that is easier said than done. Like literally determining, finding your niche, right? Because many of us, and I have a lot of entrepreneurial women in my sphere. We all want to help the world and we want to help everybody, right? But we need to start small and we need to really start niching. And so basically, and that's why I'm saying start small. And but once you know who you're serving with what, spread the word where you can, and then ask. Do you know of someone? Because we don't like to ask, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Do you know of anyone who could benefit from what I'm doing?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And that doesn't
And
cost anything. It just costs confidence to step out and actually do
yeah.
it.
And I love this. This kind of brings me to my next question, which I think is so helpful. It's something I have discussed with others before. Sometimes we get afraid, right? And so we're afraid to speak about our business. We're afraid to go on Facebook Lives or get visible. And that's understandable because whenever anything is new, there's always that, like we were talking about, it's going to put you out of your comfort zone. That's a good thing, right? And so one of the questions I like to ask is, how did you deal initially with that fear? And why do you suggest that a woman get out of her own way, and go through that fear and pass it?
Well, we have to understand that fear is on the other side. Like the success is on the other side of fear. And so, how do we get on the other side, right? So, we have to face our fears and see that it's just literally something in our head, whether it actually exists or not. It's just something we have going in here telling us we can't. What if we fail? What if we make a fool out of ourselves? What if we don't look good, right? And so, for me, what I started, and you mentioned Facebook Lives, and when I started, I haven't done many of them, but there's a different way. You can do recordings. Start
Mm,
with recording yourself and then putting that online until
yes,
you become, there's different ways you can approach this. I know we have to be out there. You have to be seen in order for people to know what you're doing so they come and ask for your help. But if you are not comfortable with life to begin with, just that's what I'm doing right now when I'm on my walks. I videotape myself. I stop and say something.
it's
And as
fantastic.
more as you do it, it's like with everything, as more as you do it, it becomes easier and easier and easier. When I started um, the videotaping of the one cooking class that is a self-taught class on Rock the Kitchen, oh my gosh, those first videos, but you know what? It's progress over
Mm,
perfection. You
yes,
got to you got to just focus on the progress, because if we all wait to be perfect, we're never going to do anything, right?
it's
So
so true.
focus on just doing it. And you know what? You doing it is like someone else is not. So that is there's a saying out there, winners never quit, quitters never win.
Very
So
true.
So
Yes,
just doing it and getting and trusting that you will
yes,
get better over time. And I promise you, and because I know for myself, as more as I do, I feel much better now. I mean, you
yeah.
should see my very first podcast. I haven't even posted this. The lady spent an hour with me and I haven't posted it because I look at this and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, terrible. But you know what? I keep on doing this because that is one way of getting the word out as of what I do. So I keep on doing these podcasts and these video tapes, and as more as I do them, as more comfortable I become. There's always a
I
little nervousness, but you
Yeah.
get better over time.
Yes, yes. I love this because basically it's like repetition is the mother of skill, right? And even when you're talking about cooking, I'm not sure if everybody knows who Giada De Laurentiis is, but she had this simple Italian cooking show, and she even makes fun of her very first cooking videos because she was so nervous and everything, and now she's just so comfortable and all over the place. Like she's a superstar with cooking. But it is so true. And one of my clients just recently said, fear and excitement actually have the same exact endorphins or the chemical
Yes.
thing. And so, you can just say, when you're feeling afraid, say, don't use that word afraid or fear. Say, I'm so excited, because it's exactly the same thing. And then the other thing I always love, this one has gotten me out of my way, and I know many other women as well. When you realize that if you hide, that you can't help, and then that's a that's unfortunate. So when you're not hiding, you're able to help somebody. And so when you realize it's really not about you, but it's about your message, and that message can help another human being, even if it's just one person, it's worth it. And it goes back, when you think about it, it could be a teacher in a school. That teacher helps one kid for some reason, that it was so necessary. Or even in a medical establishment, that doctor or nurse helped one patient. That one person's worth it. Obviously, you're going to help so many more people, but only if you show up and turn that fear into excitement, and practice to the point where you don't even feel afraid anymore. That's a distant memory. And know that I always also like that saying, be comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's
Yes.
okay, right? It's okay. So
And you know
thank
what,
you. I
Tamara,
love these answers.
I want to just quickly touch on that. So, um, I think we talked about this in a different conversation. So this summer, I went up actually to New York and I talked on a stage, right? And I told myself, this is the greatest opportunity for me to get out there. So, but of course, talking on a stage in front of a lot of people, oh, this fear sneaks in. But I did exactly what you just mentioned. I focused the entire time. How exciting, how exciting. This is a great opportunity for me to go out there and talk. And so, up until the minute of my talk, I chose, because fear and excitement can't both be in your head at the same time. I mean, it's one or the other, because what you focus on expands, right? What you focus on
Yep.
expands. So I focused on this excitement and the opportunity. And if we do this with anything we do in life, Facebook Lives, it's going to talking to people, focus on the opportunity that you have to share your message with the world. And that will help you to get out and do it, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this. And that is like such a great example of, getting on stage in front of people. Yes, you have two choices: to be super afraid and hide, or to just turn it into an exciting opportunity that is going to bless you and bless others, and make the most out of it and just go forward. And I really love that. That's great. And so this actually brings me to another question. Do you agree that mindset is more important than systems and strategies, and why?
Because your mind is everything. You got to harness the power of your mind, because I mean, yeah, systems are important and strategies are important, but you have to focus on the possibilities, and you and on the focus of success. And so that's why it's so important to harness the power of your mind. Our mind is super powerful. It can take us in both directions, right? It can take us down the road or up the hill, you know. And there is different ways how we can train our mind, how we can harness the power of it, right? So like people ask me, well, how do you do it? Well, positive affirmations, some people may think they're not, yes, we know about them. Well, they're super, super powerful.
Yeah.
With anything I do in my life. I mean, and that started early in the day when I was still living in Russian occupied East Germany, when the wall was still up and people were laughing about my dreams that I had for my life, because they said, well, it's not possible. We live in a cage. What are you even dreaming of? And in my mind, already not knowing about vision boards or the power of visualization, I told myself, and I can and I will, and I show you guys that it's possible. And that can and will has become a mantra in my life. So everything that I approach these days, live videos, anything, talking to people, getting out there, that mantra, I can and I will, empowers me to actually do what I want to do. And that's why that is more important than having strategies and things in place. Just keeping a positive mindset no matter the outcome. That is actually my secret sauce, how I approach in life, how I approach life in general. Is like, do what's exciting, keeping a positive mindset no matter the outcome, and to never ever give up, ever, like Winston Churchill said, right? No matter
Yes.
how small or great the challenges are, you push through them and you will see the light on the end of the tunnel. Not always
Wow.
easy, it doesn't always happen instantly, but just focus on the possibility of success rather than failure.
What an inspiration. I am so glad that you just shared that, because that is just everything. And going through like that challenge in your younger years and having that mindset, we all have to remember, we all have different challenges, of course, that happen, but sometimes we forget how strong we are. And then we think, we get, for example, let's just pretend it's a Facebook Live, the very first Facebook Live you've ever done, and you're all caught up in your fearful emotions. We have to remind ourselves, go back years on things that we overcame and succeeded through that are far more gigantic than getting on a video on Facebook Live. So let's also not make it this big monster or bigger than it has to be. It's just alive, or it's just showing up on a stage. It is, there are far greater things that we have surpassed and succeeded from and grown from in our lives, if we think about it. And we have to remind ourselves to give ourselves a pat on the back for all the growth that we've experienced over the years, because I think also as women we forget to compliment ourselves. We forget we're all about where we have to, what we have to do and where we have to get to, and we forget about where we've already passed and come through. And I find that I did that with myself just recently, because I have a million things going on. I'm trying to get it all done and I'm focusing what I still have to do, and it's all good. But then I said to myself, okay, do you want to take maybe just 1 minute, Tamara, and compliment yourself for what you already accomplished? Because I didn't remember you saying good job to yourself. And I think I say good job to everybody else. And I thought, wow, that's kind of true. I didn't actually say good job to me. And I took a moment and I did that. And then it made me realize, wow, I am really accomplishing and pushing through. And, it builds your confidence. And so for all women out there, remind yourself of all the good that you have achieved already. And anytime you feel your fears showing up, remind yourself about how strong you really are and the other things that you've come through already, and that you can do it no matter what, and turn that fear into excitement and all of the things that we just talked about. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I have one final question for you. And I love this one because it's different for everybody. Um, how do you define success? What does that look like in the day in your life?
For me, success is finding happiness and contentment in everything that I do. And success, with having nourishing relationships with my family, with my friends, living my best life, becoming the best version of myself. Because if I am the best version of myself, I can, you know, ignite others to do the same, to become the best version of themselves. So it's not, success for me is not about making millions of dollars. And I found this to be true when you don't focus on money, but you focus on your passion and you focus on your why as to why you're doing what you're doing. Money will come. It
Absolutely.
will come. But for me, success, again, yeah, it's just living an amazing, fulfilled life and helping others to do the same. And if I can just, as you said earlier, help one person,
Yeah.
that is makes my day. That makes my day. I
Absolutely.
go and have a glass of champagne and toast to
Yes.
my amazing life and your amazing life. And that is what's all about, is for all of us to have amazing lives. And it looks different for every one of us. Your amazing life looks different for me, but as long as we can determine what that is, right? And
Yes.
that's what success for me is in my everyday life.
I love this. I love this. I am so thankful that you have come on and shared this beautiful success story of your journey and all of the inspiration and words of wisdom and guidance that will help others. So this to me is a success, right? This is a successful day for me, knowing that what we just did here will have a positive effect not only on us but others, and that it'll have a rippling effect. And this is just what it's about. And I love where we women collaborate and we help each other. And there's a network for us, to a support system. So even if there's friends and family that don't always understand what we're doing in our home office and building dreams and making huge things happen, that's okay, because there's always a woman out there that is sharing a similar journey and is happy to communicate and build you up as you build her up. So that's what these success stories are about. But also reach out to other women and find your tribe, basically. So I just want to say thank you so much for this beautiful interview. And before we sign off, can you just go ahead and leave your websites where they can find you again? So and then we'll go ahead and close out. So thank you again for being here.
Yes, so you can find me at breaklooseandfly.com, breaklooseandfly.com. Or if you want to rock the kitchen with me, you can find me at rockthekitchen.net, not .com, but .net. And I look forward to maybe connecting with you.
Yay. I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, wealthy women, go out there, keep going forward, go get your dreams, go talk to yourself, get out in nature, listen to what your inner voices are telling you, and follow that guidance. Because I always believe if it's in your heart, it's meant for you. You may not know the how or the when, but you know the why. And that is all you need to go forward. And just I will see you next time with another beautiful success story, and keep going for your dreams. And bye for now. Bye bye.